Hello friends, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time, if you're coming back, so happy you're back. Look at this, friends. Look at this. We're at the clearance section at Lowe's Garden Center, and here is the clearance discount price sheet. And I can't believe they have all these plants on clearance already. Yes. So I'll be giving you some tips on what to pick out when you're shopping for your lilies. So this one I definitely will pick up because the buds are closed. Try to look for those with the closed buds. The blooms will last you longer. And right here is the clearance sheet. So this will be $7 because it's $12.98. So they have a lot of lilies here from Monrovia. Alrighty, let's go around the corner and see what else we can find. I love the orange one. It's so pretty. Alright friends, I'm going to share this one with you, okay? This is rhododendron, and you'll be like, this bloom in spring, why do I want this? If you see spring blooming plants and you don't have them in your garden, I recommend pick them up, because when next year comes, you're going to be saying to yourself, oh, I should have purchased that. I've made the same mistake before. So if it's something that you want, or you realize, okay, I can do with some more spring blooming plants, just pick it up. Don't think about, oh, it's already bloomed, I'm wasting my money. Don't think like that. Think about the next spring season. Anyways, so here we have this beautiful gardenia. Look at this for $39.98. So this will be 50% off. Yes, friends. And this one is in the tree form. So with this, friends, I would just take it home, give it a good clean down. That's just the water. The white stuff on the leaf is just from the water. I'm thinking they water it overhead and not at the base of the plant. So nothing is wrong with this. Look at this. This will be so perfect at your entryway for the front of your house in a different planter. And here we have this hanging basket with different annuals in here. This one is a sun combo. This will be half off. It's $16.98, so half off. So with these, I would just give it a trim. Just get it like a trim, and it will reflush new blooms for you. And then here we have a gubba daisy. I love the gubba daisies. They're so pretty. So right here, I would just come in, snip off any spent bloom. And if you look at this, friends, the foliage is looking so shiny and lush, right? The plant is looking lush. So just go down in there as I was showing you and just snip off those spent bloom. And this again is just half off. Anything over $15 is half off. And then look at this one, friends. This looks so good. Yes, I'm telling you, my Lowe's Garden Center, every week they keep adding new plants there. Some plants didn't even have a chance on the regular section to be purchased. Okay, they're just moving them to the clearance section, more than likely to bring in other new plants. Anyway, so here is this large container here. This is really pretty. They have verbena in here, petunia. Just look at that same concept. I will just do some trimming on this, and that's it. Trim it up, give it some water, and just let it be, and it will grow again for you. And then when summer comes, more than likely you will probably need to give it another haircut, right? With your annuals, you normally have to do that. And this, once again, this is half off. And right here, this is just me picking off these spent blooms here. That's what I would do too. Just pick off the spent blooms. You know, petunia, you have to pick them out after they already bloom for you. Anyway, friends, here we have more down below here. This one is the Wave Series Petunia. It blooms spring, summer, and fall. Seasons here for half of the price. Yes, same concept again. Just trim up some of these spent blooms, pick off some of the spent blooms, and that's it. And it bounces right back for you. And I'm thinking these look really good compared to what I've seen before in the past. All right, friends, here we have a zonal geranium for $16.98. This one is looking good. You see some new buds coming from there. And same concept, just trim off the spent blooms, friends. That's what you do with your flowers. Just tidy up the plants and give it a good haircut. Alright friends, let's move over here. The sun is out on this end. Alrighty, so here we have blueberries. They have all different type of blueberries, friends. So this would only be, I think this might be $7 because it's not quite $15. But yes, friends, so check out, see if you want a blueberry in your garden. They have a lot here on clearance, and they bloom at different time. And here we have a purple dwarf lilac. Lilac smells so good. So this will get 3 to 5 feet tall and 3 to 5 feet wide. And this one is a reblooming compact lilac with pale pink flowers, and the pollinators love it. And it's hardy from zones 3 to 7. And friends, as I always say, not every plant on clearance you have to pick up, okay? Because some plants, they just leave them alone, right? But if you're going to pick up plants, I just want to teach you or share tips with you, I should say, on what to pick up. So for example, here's this double playbank spirea, right? I love spireas. So we're going to go and inspect these and see what is what. They're not looking too good. With this one, I will just leave this here. I will not purchase that, okay? This one stands a chance, okay? You still have the green going on there. It doesn't look too bad. It just needs some pruning. I would just trim out all these dead stems in between here, but the plant is still looking good. And when I take it home, I would hydrate it in water overnight, if it's dehydrated I should say, and then plant it at the end of the day when it's cool and the sun is gone, and then water it, give it some water, and water it every other day. Don't overwater it. Just test it and see how much water it needs, and it depends on if it's hot where you are. I'm in zone 6B 7A, so right now we've been having a lot of rain. I know some of you down in the warmer zones, it's probably really dry and hot for you. So just something to keep in mind. Not every plant on the clearance section you need to purchase, and if you do, you need to know how to take care of them so you're not wasting your money, right? Anyway, so that's my tip there for you. I love spireas. So this is half off. This is from Proven Winners. And then down below here we have from Monrovia. We have these beautiful landmark rhododendrons. They prefer part sun. So these are $46 and change. So they would run you $20 something. But once again, if you're looking for spring blooms for next year, just something to keep in mind. And here we have this beautiful shrub rose from Monrovia. They had a couple of roses in between here. This one does not look too good, so I will leave this alone. Unless it's a rose that you've been looking for, you could trim it, give it a good prune, and clean it up and take it home and take care of it. Otherwise, just leave it alone. Not every plant you have to pick up, friends. Alrighty, friends, here we have creeping phlox. These are $7.98, and these are really pretty to go in a rock garden, and these bloom in the spring season for you. They have them in pink and purple and even the darker pink. Alrighty, here we have the pink down here, and they're perennial, so they do come back for you. And then friends, I found this golden coreopsis here from Monrovia. It reminds me of marigold or marigold, however you pronounce that. It blooms in the summer, and it will get 10 to 18 inches tall and 12 to 18 inches wide. And it says it's great for borders and containers. And this coreopsis definitely has a thick bloom. Normally their blooms are more dainty. This one is very thick like a marigold. Alright friends, here we have ice plant, something different for your garden. It's a great perennial from Monrovia. It says vibrant flowers bloom all summer and into fall. Great drought tolerant ground cover or plant in a container and let it spill over beautifully. It blooms spring, summer and fall. It gets 4 to 6 inches tall and 15 to 20 inches wide. I love the orange blooms on it, so pretty. Alrighty, here and above here, friends, they have the red ice plant. So we saw the orange already. And here we have blueberry Elliot, another blueberry. This will get 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide, hardy from zones 5 through 7. I told you they have a lot of blueberries here on the clearance section. And it's $14.98, so that will run you $7, I think. And look at that, I see the buds already there. So those are what will give you the blueberries, right? Already forming there. Alrighty, up here, friends, they have rhubarb. Look at that. They will get 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide. They hardy from zones 3 to 8. It says sweet and mild flavor. They're resistant and it's good for cooking. And just look at that, friends. Oh my goodness. I have no experience with this plant, so I can't really tell you much about it. But I think, is that what it made the rhubarb pie from? I don't know. But there it is. Anyway, friends, so over here, friends, they have a lot of freesia, however you pronounce that, from Monrovia. Look at those cute blooms. I love it. The foliage reminds me of iris foliage, doesn't it? So this plant I do not have in my garden, so I can't really tell you much about it. But if you're looking for it, it is here at the clearance section. I hope you guys are really lucky and you have good deals at your clearance section. Alrighty, friends, let me try to take this out. This is a petunia, bee's knees. Okay, wow. So as you can see, it's yellow, such a pretty color. And it's $9.98, so I think it will be $7 maybe on clearance, or $6, not sure. Alrighty, and here we have some Dianthus Neon Star for $4.98. Loves full sun, and this Dianthus blooms in the spring. So keep in mind there's different Dianthus out there that blooms at some you can find for spring, summer and fall, and some of them only bloom in the spring season. So as always, check before you pick them up and see when they bloom, or if they're hardy to your zone and if they will survive your winters for you. And here we have Calla Lily Royal Valentine for $7.98. Large flower bracts surrounds a central spike and this attractive plant. This is so pretty, friends. Just look at that. I love it. And it blooms in the summer. It will get 12 to 18 inches tall and wide, and they come in all different colors. You have the purple, you have the pink, you have the orange, you have the yellow, all different colors for you, friends. And these for me do not survive my zone. So if I plant these in the garden, I definitely would have to dig them out and overwinter them somewhere inside the house. It says non-hardy in zones 1 through 8. So always keep that in mind. If you don't know your zone, put your zip code in Google and it tells you which zone you're in, and that's how you know if the plant will survive your winters or not. Something very important to know when you're shopping for plants. Alright, friends, here we have another Dianthus for $4.98. So that will only be $2. Yes, $2 for this Dianthus. Can you imagine that? So if your plant is $4.98 on the clearance, you only pay $2 for it. Definitely a great steal. And here we have Columbine. These are $12.98 on clearance. Different price, and they bloom spring and summer. I thought Columbine only bloom in the spring season. So if you purchase these, just clean up the plant, keep them hydrated, and keep your eyes out for some summer blooms, right? And these prefer the shade garden, so something to keep in mind. Don't put them in the hot scorching sun. They prefer some shade. All right, friends, so here's an overview of this Lowe's Garden Center. Look at that, they have a lot of plants here. I went last week and what they had was gone. Okay, they were gone. So they keep putting out new plants every week. So once again, I really hope you guys find some good finds. And friends, look at this mandevilla for $6.98. I purchased one of these from the clearance section last year, and the thing bloomed all the way into fall until the frost came. Yes, love it. It just bloomed non-stop. It's a tropical plant, but it bloomed all the way into the frost season. So with these, just clip off any dead blooms, any dead looking foliage on there, clean it up, and they're trailing, so make sure you put them where they can trail up somewhere. And here we have geranium for $2.98. I think these will be $2 after the discount. And they bloom spring, summer, and fall. Geranium is another one too that blooms all the way into fall until the frost comes. Definitely recommend geranium. So the same concept, clean up the plant, cut off any spent bloom, give it some good water, some fertilizer when you go home, and it should bounce right back for you. Friends, look at this. You know how much I love my hens and chick. They have hens and chick at the clearance section. Nothing is wrong with them. I have a lot in the garden. They're great to create a secret garden, and you go to the dollar store and you get some fairies. You take the kids with you and you make a beautiful fairy garden with these hens and chick in the garden. Yes, I have few set up like that in my garden, and I just love hens and chick. You can't go wrong with them. Just love them. All right, friends, and here they have super blue lavender. And friends, these bloom in the summer. They will get 10 to 12 inches tall and 12 to 14 inches wide. And friends, nothing is wrong with them. They're just dehydrated. Yes, I love the color. It's so pretty. They have the blue one, they have the pink looking one. Do you see them? They're drooping. So there you can see they're just dehydrated. So here you are. So you have the beautiful pink with the blue. I think those two colors look too good together. But just take them home, soak them overnight, and that's it. And they will just perk right back up for you. Okay. Alright, friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.